Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Hasham. So now I am going to start unit number 2 in the subject Financial Management for BBA. Last two videos I have completed unit number 1 where I have explained the meaning, definition, scope, objective, approaches to financial management. That is completely theoretical. But now second unit is the concept of time value of money and capital budgeting decisions. These two items are there in unit number 2. In this video, I am going to explain you about the concept time value of money. In examination, very frequently they will ask a theory question regarding what is compounding, what is discounting, what is the significance of time value of money or capital budgeting decisions. So right now, before starting the concept of time value of money, take the screenshot of the points, then I'll explain. Now, the contents of this unit number 2 are compounding, discounting, future present value, future value and annuity. And apart from that, capital budgeting. What is the meaning, features of capital budgeting, application of discounted cash flow techniques, DCF, and calculating the NPV and IRR. These are the contents of unit number 2. Now, first of all, time value of money. The value of money will change from time to time. That means the value, the purchasing power of money will not be same always. It will change from time to time. For example, the present value of money is much more worth than the future value of money. For example, if I have to give you 100 rupees right now, I'm giving two options. Do you want immediately or can I pay you after 2 years? Then normally the people will prefer no, now itself I want. Because present value of money is much greater than the future value of money. Simple words, the value of money will change from time to time. That is the concept of the time value of money. So it means the value of money is different. The value of money is different at different point of time. Today, the value of 1 lakh rupees is more worth this 1 lakh rupees after 5 years. The purchasing power will come down due to number of reasons. Now, the time value of money is basic financial concept that holds that money in present is worth more than the same sum of money to be received in the future. Simple concept is the value of money at present is more than the value of the same sum of money to be received after a future period of time. Example, 1 lakh rupees. If you have 1 lakh rupees, you can purchase much more goods now. Same 1 lakh rupees, if you want to purchase after 5 years, you will not get that much goods what you are getting now. Because the purchasing power presently is more, in future the purchasing power will come down. Now, the crux of this time value concept is that money has a time value. Main point is money has a time value. The value of money will change according to time. That is the crux of the matter. A rupee to be received a year from now is not worth as much today. Simple. 1 rupee value is more today, whereas the same 1 rupee value will be less in future period of time. And given an option of receiving a fixed sum of money either at present or at a future date, a rational person would prefer to receive it at the earliest. Simple example I have given. If I have to pay you 1 lakh rupees, I am giving you two options. Do you want 1 lakh rupees right now or can I pay you after 5 years? What will be your answer? So naturally, a prudent person, a rational person will say, I want the money right now. I don't want after 5 years. Why? Because present value of money is more than the future value. Now, reasons for time preference for money. Why the people will prefer present money rather than future money? Why the value of money presently is more than the value of money in future? There are different reasons. The first reason is risk and uncertainty. The future is, risk is attached with the future. We don't know what will happen in future. For example, I have to pay you 1 lakh rupees right now. It is certain. Whereas if I promise you to pay after 5 years, the life is uncertain. I don't know whether I will be in a position to pay 1 lakh rupees after 5 years. I may be there or I may not be there. So there is a lot of uncertainty attached in the future. That's why present is more important than the future. Personal consumption preference. Normally people will prefer to consume at present, not in the future. If you have the money right now, you can consume. You can consume the goods. You can use the goods right now. Whereas the same, if you don't have the money, you have to consume in the future. The people will prefer consumption at present, not consumption in the future. Thirdly, investment opportunities. If you have right now, if you have the money, you can make the investment and earn the income. For example, I have to pay you 1 lakh rupees. I am giving you two options, right now or after 5 years. You are preferring right now. Why? Because if you get right now 1 lakh rupees, you could have invested in some avenues so that you can get some return. If I pay you after 5 years, you are foregoing the return. That means no fund is available for investment. So you will lose investment opportunities if you do not get the money right now. So people will prefer present money so that they can get the opportunities of investment. Then inflation. Nowadays inflation is there. What is inflation? The situation of rising in prices. The prices of goods and services we can see generally like rice, oil or wheat or flour or anything you take, the prices are going up. That is called inflation. Due to inflation, the purchasing power of money will come down. Then opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is a cost foregone by not having that money. For example, if you have right now some money, you can invest it somewhere. So if you don't have, you cannot be able to invest that money, you are losing the opportunity. So these are the reasons why time preference is there for money. Techniques of time value of money. What are the different techniques of time value of money? The first is, the most important of the investment decision involve cash flows arising at different points of time. So the techniques of time value of money. So most of the investment decisions involves cash flows arising at different point of time. That means in a business organization, many financial decisions are there where the cash flows occur not at one time, but at different point of time. So cash inflows and cash outflows are occurring at different point of time. So we cannot add up all the inflows and outflows because they are occurring at different point of time and the value of money will be different, right? Secondly, therefore, for the purpose of aggregation and comparison, all the cash flows arising at different point of time have to be brought to the same point of time. Simple example, if you want to compare the height of two persons, both should stand on the same platform. Similarly, in the case of business also, if we have cash inflows at two different point of time, we cannot directly compare today's value and the future value. We cannot be able to compare because the value is different. So we have to bring both the cash flows at a certain point of time. That means bring the future cash flows at the present value or take the present value to the future value. Like this, we have to bring the cash flows at a particular point of time. Now, hence, the necessity to understand the techniques of time value of money. That is the reason why every finance manager must know the technique of time value of money. How to bring all the cash flows at a particular point of time so that we can make aggregation, so that we can make the comparison. Now, there are two techniques of adjusting the time value of money. The first technique is compounding technique or future value technique. Secondly is discounting technique or present value technique. So discounting technique and compounding technique. These two are the techniques used in adjusting the time value of money. These techniques are used mainly for capital budgeting decisions. Apart from capital budgeting decision, in financing decision also, this technique will be used called compounding and discounting. So first we discuss about compounding techniques or calculating the future value of a particular sum of money. The process of finding out the future value is called compounding. Simple. Compounding is the process of finding out the future value of a certain sum of money. For example, 1 lakh rupees right now. What is the future value of 1 lakh rupees after 5 years at 10% rate of interest? That means we have to find out what is the compound value. And future value, a sum of money, is expected value of the sum of money invested after n years at a specified compounding rate of interest. That means future value is nothing but a sum of money which is compounded annually for n years at a certain rate of interest. So compounding the interest means earning interest on interest. Two types of interest are there: simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest means the rate of interest which is applied on the principal amount only, whereas compounding interest means interest on interest. That is called compound interest. The future value at the end of a period 1 can be calculated by simple formula. How to calculate the compound value? A simple formula is there. If you want for only one period means 1 year. Formula is V1 is equal to VO into 1 plus I, where V1 is nothing but the future value of that sum after 1 year. For example, 1 lakh rupees. What is the value of 1 lakh rupees after 1 year? That is V1. And VO, the present original value. Original value is 1 lakh. And I stands for interest rate. At what interest rate you are compounding? That's it. For example, rupees 1000 is invested at 10% rate of interest. The future value of 1000 at the end of 1 year will be V1 is equal to VO into 1 plus I. VO is 1000. I is 10%. 10% means 0.1. 0.10. So it comes to 1100 rupees. In simple words, we can say presently 1000 rupees is equivalent to 1100 after 1 year. That means present 1000 or 1100 after 1 year, both are equal. Both are equal. Then further value of current sum of for more than one period. If only 1 year is there, so we take V1 is equal to VO into 1 plus I. If more than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, any number of years, if you want compound value, then write this formula. Vn is equal to VO into 1 plus I to the power of n. N stands for number of years. If it is 2 years, take it 2. If it is 5 years, in n place of n, take 5 years. Now compounding factor table. Sometimes the value of n will be larger. For example, 50, 60 like that. N is equal to 60 years. So it will be difficult to calculate 1 plus I to the power of 60. In that case, one compounded table values are there. So by referring the compound table value, we can easily calculate the future value or compounding value. The formula is Vn is equal to VO into CF. CF stands for compounding factor. If you refer the table, compounding table, you will get compounding factor for I interest rate and n number of years. So in the compounding factor table, you will have number of years in rows and interest rate in columns. So by comparing the interest and number of years, you can get the compounding factor. Multiply that compounding factor to the original value, you will get the future value or compounded value. That's it. This is by using compounding factor table. Now, doubling period. Some problems you may get in examination regarding doubling period and how much time period is required to double our initial amount. Example, suppose 1 lakh rupees are there. How much time period is required to make double? Instead of 1 lakh, make it 2 lakh. So at 10% rate of interest. If compounding rate of interest is 10%, how many years are required to double the amount? That is called doubling period. So doubling period is a period which makes the investment doubled. That is, the amount will become 100% more. The compounding factor table can be easily used. By using compounding factor table, we can find out the doubling period. But doubling period can also be calculated using the simple following rule of thumb. One rule of thumb is also there. Instead of going to the compounding table and making calculations, a rule of thumb can be used to find out the doubling period. These rules are rule of 72 and rule of 69. The rule of 72 and rule of 69 are a simple way of determining how long an investment will take to double, given a fixed annual rate of interest. Suppose the annual rate of interest is 10%. So how many years we require to double our amount from 1 lakh to 2 lakh? So by using this simple method. First method is by adopting these rules, investor obtain a rough estimate. It's not accurate, but rough estimate will get how much period is required. Rule 72 says doubling period is equal to 72 divided by a rate of interest. This is rule 72. Rule 69 says doubling period is equal to 0.35 plus 69 divided by rate of interest. So any rule you can apply, you can get a rough estimate of how much is the doubling period. That's it. The next is multiple compounding periods. So far we have seen the compounding period in terms of years, but sometimes we need the compounding period which is less than 1 year. Less than 1 year means semi-annual or quarterly or monthly or daily. That means compounding is done semi-annually, means twice a year. Quarterly, 4 times in a year. Monthly, it is 12 times in a year. Like that, we can make the compounding multiple period of time in 1 year. So compounding interest more than 1 in a year is called multiple compounding period. It may be semi-annual, quarterly, monthly or daily continuous basis. The future value of money in such a case can be, the formula is slightly adjusted if the multiple compounding period is there. The formula is Vn is equal to Vo into 1 plus I divided by M to the power of M into N, where Vn stands for future value, compounded value, and Vo original value of sum of money, I interest rate, M stands for number of compounding period in 1 year. How many times we are compounding in 1 year? Just now I told you semi-annual means 2, M is equal to 2. If quarterly compounding is there, M is equal to 4. If monthly compounding is there, M is equal to 12. And N stands for number of years. By using this formula, we can find out the compounded value, future value, when multiple compounding periods are there. So this is the explanation about compounding or finding out the future value. So far we have discussed about the compounding technique. The opposite of compounding technique is the discounting technique. So now I am going to explain about the second technique of considering the time value of money. That is discounting or present value technique. The present value PV is exactly opposite to future value. In compounding technique, we are calculating future value. In discounting technique, we calculate the present value. So what is the present value of a sum of money which is to be received after n number of years? For example, if you are going to get 5 lakh rupees after 5 years, so what is the present value of that 5 lakh rupees which you are going to get after 5 years? This is called discounting. The present value of future cash flows show what the value is today of some future sum of money. What is the value of money today of a sum of money which is receivable in future? Now, the present value technique enables us to know the present value of a sum of money receivable in future. The process of finding out the present value is called discounting. Finding out the present value is called discounting. The present value of single amount. If you are having a single amount, simply you substitute in this formula, you can get the present value. So VO is equal to Vn divided by 1 plus I to the power of n, where VO stands for the present value and Vn stands for the future value, that is after n period, and I stands for interest rate, n stands for number of years. So by using this formula, we can find out what is the present value of a certain sum of money which is to be received in future. For example, the present value of 1000 rupees to be received after 1 year at 10% rate of interest. Rate of interest 10%, number of years 1, and original amount to be received after 1 year is 1000. So what is the present value? VO. So VO is equal to 1000 divided by 1 plus 0.10. It comes to 909. That means what you are getting 1000 after 1 year, the present value of that 1000 is 909. In simple words, present 909 is equal to future 1000. Now discount factor table. When n becomes very large, the calculation of 1 plus I to the power of n becomes difficult. When n is small, easily we can calculate. If n is large, it will be difficult to make the calculations. In that case, to calculate the PV in such cases, discounting factor or present value table can be used. Just like compounding table, we have discounting table. By referring the discounting table, we can easily find out the present value for any number of years, whatever be the value of n. So in that case, VO is equal to Vn into DF, discounting factor, for I interest rate, n number of years. So in this video, I have explained you the concept of time value of money, compounding and discounting. After this, we'll start the problem in this concept, time value of money. Then we'll discuss about capital budgeting decisions, NPV and IRR. So inshallah, we'll start the problems on this concept of time value of money in the next video.